Hi, everyone. It's Renee Cormier from the Fractional Referral Network. Today, I've got the spotlight on Jeff Epstein, who is a fractional product marketer located in the beautiful province of British Columbia, Canada. And we're going to have a little chat, talk about a few things, and I'm going to throw a wild card at him, and we'll see where things go.
Give me your best shot.
Yeah. So, Jeff, thanks for coming today. Tell me who you are and what kind of work you do as a fractional.
So I started fractional work about 3 years ago, Renee. After exiting the full-time employee side of things, I was VP marketing my last two stints for about 4 or 5 years. And I decided, I know we're going to get to this in a bit about what motivated me to go fractional, but I decided to scale back my offering and focus just on product marketing for B2B technology companies. So I help small companies who have a bit of traction in the market and need more. I help them refine their go-to-market process, their positioning, their messaging. I help them do competitive intelligence. I help them launch new products. Those are the kinds of services I offer as a fractional product marketer.
Excellent. Niching down is really important, right? So many people try to be everything to everybody, and it's not a great way to go. So things are going well because you've niched, correct?
Right. And I tell people that if I couldn't do that, if I couldn't define my niche and focus my target, I wouldn't be a very good product marketer because that's what product marketers do. We help
Yes.
companies focus. So I apply that same practice to myself, and it's been very successful. It's been very successful.
Excellent. So what made you decide to go fractional instead of pursuing traditional employment?
So I think similar to a lot of people who are moving to fractional, although I'm way more religious about it. So I made the realization at, as I hit my mid 50s, that I was sick and tired of working for somebody else. And what tired me about that was watching poor decisions being made for the business. And I said, you know what? If I'm at the point now where I want to trade the risk of not knowing where my next client is going to come from for the risk of being subjected to somebody else's silly decisions
Yeah.
that affect my career. So I said, you know what? I'm ready now to trade up that risk, take it on, and be a master of my domain, to quote the ineffable Kramer from Seinfeld.
Yes. I always feel suffocated in jobs because of that, never really getting to be empowered the same way. But when you come in as a
Yeah.
functional, you're at a whole other level. So what do you enjoy most about working this way?
So the by far the biggest source of pleasure I get out of being a fractional is the diversity of clients that I get to work with, because that's incredibly stimulating intellectually. It's incredibly stimulating socially. You mix with different people, you mix in different cultures, you mix in different countries, and that's just a very enriching experience to be in. So that's the number one thing that I love about being fractional is the diversity you get. You're drinking sips of the Kool-Aid from your clients, but that's not the only thing you're drinking.
Yes.
So it's fun.
Yeah, that's nice. And so what's one challenge you're working through right now?
Oh boy. So when you're good, or when you're perceived as good as a fractional, when you're valued by your client as a fractional, they just want to give you more and more to do. And your scope tends to grow, which is good if you're on top of it and you build it into your contract and you can manage it properly. So right now, one of my clients actually had to step away from her role for a little bit and asked me to take the reins of the marketing team.
Hmm.
And that normally it's not something I want to do because it's taking me away from product marketing, but it's very short term. It's only for a few weeks. So I gladly took the reins. It was great to have her trust and confidence, as well as her boss, the chief revenue officer, to put their faith in me to do that. And it's a fun little change of what I'm doing for them, but it does take me away from the work that I actually love to do. So navigating that challenge, that change of remit for that client, also making sure when she comes back, things are in order, that I didn't mess anything up, that I didn't set the house on fire,
Yeah,
that anxiety about fulfilling that role
sure.
properly.
Yeah. So that kind of brings me to a question. Maybe this is our wild card question. How do you manage scope creep?
Yeah, so this was a fun one. So my very first question to her when she pitched this at me was, something's got to come off the table. If I'm going to now spend all these hours and all this time on CMO stuff, not product marketing, we have to reset our expectations and the goals that I signed on for. And she's like, absolutely, fully understand. So the very first question to manage that scope creep is to have that tough conversation of, okay, this is deemed important. How important is this with all the other things you want me to do? And what are we going to put on hold until we have time again to do that? And that forces the client to recognize those trade-offs. It keeps them honest with the relationship.
Yeah.
And it's up to the fractional to really decide how much flexibility they want in that, how much they're willing to give, a few extra hours here, a few extra hours there, knowing they can get it back later. Because this client I've been working with for 2 years now, Renee. So we have a very stable, very strong relationship.
Good.
And she well knows that if I give her more hours now, I'll probably claim them back later.
Yeah. Okay. You got an arrangement.
Yeah. And arrangement is through communication and clarity, right? That's the only way to make it work. You have to live by the letter of your agreement and have those conversations regularly.
Yes. Yes. So what's one piece of advice that you'd give to someone just starting out as a fractional? You've been doing this for a while now. So what would you tell a newbie?
Can I share two pieces of advice? Um,
Absolutely.
the first piece is go for it. Fractional is the bomb, and you're going to
Mm.
love it. So commit to it. Don't dabble. Like anything else in life, go all in.
Yes.
And the second part of that is the single most important thing you can do as a fractional is constantly work on growing an effective network. You
Yes.
have to continue to reach out and connect with people that can be either a source of referral, a resource when you need extra bandwidth to refer somebody to, and just a sounding board of birds of a feather, people that you can talk to as you live through the fractional world. So don't skimp. I would say a good yardstick is to try to spend 10 to 20% of your time constantly feeding and growing and nurturing your network.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And everything you have to do consistently. You can't.
Correct.
If you stop and start, then your business flow is going to stop and start.
It
And
is. It's the hardest part for fractional is when you're busy is the time you need to be marketing, because
yes.
there's going to come a time when you won't be busy and you better have a pipeline or a
Yes.
funnel you can lean into. It's too
That's right.
late, or you can accept that risk. Maybe that's fine. You want a bit of a break too, but
Yeah. I mean,
recognize that. Yeah,
yeah, because you can be 6 months without a thing. You know.
correct.
So
Yeah,
you have to bear in mind that do I have a stomach for that?
that's right. That's right.
you know.
That's another question. Do I have a stomach for it? And do I recognize that when I'm busy, I can't stop marketing? Like I have
Yes.
to find time in my schedule to continue to market.
Yeah. Yeah. Make time. I say you don't find time, you make it.
Very
So
true.
whether it's 8 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night, you take even just 20 minutes, half an hour to do something, every day to move the needle forward.
That habit is so critical, Renee, because it's easy to chew off, and it's a bit of a flywheel. The more you do it, the more regular it becomes, the easier it gets. So if you
Yes.
can get into that habit of doing 20 minutes a day, half an hour a day, and be forgiving to yourself. There are some days where you won't, but
Yes.
that's okay. And that's okay too. That's reality. But you stay at it, build a
But
habit.
for me, that's why there's 7 days in a week. So if Wednesday is like crazy, you've still got Saturday or Sunday where you can take a couple of minutes and do something. And
Agreed.
I schedule it right in my calendar. 8 o'clock in the morning is business development from 8 until 9. So I've got a window. I don't necessarily need the whole hour every day, but it's there. But I have to do something every day. I make myself do it, because if I don't, I'm not going to get anywhere. I don't. I can't afford to have a long dry spell.
Yeah, what works for me in talking to some fellow fractionals is exactly what you just said. That schedule, that regularity of it. Find the time that works for you. I've found that Friday afternoons are the best time for me to do that because my work has calmed down. I've put out
Yes.
all the fires. I'm feeling a little mentally drained at the end of the week. Let's be real. So it doesn't mean that the outreach is happening on that Friday. It means I'm scheduling it. Maybe I'm scheduling a LinkedIn post, or I'm
Yes.
scheduling an email to send, on Monday morning. But I'm
Yeah.
doing that Friday afternoons. That's my best time.
Yeah. That's where you use your automations or whatever, right?
That's right. Find your rhythm.
Yeah. So what is your favorite productivity hack or tool?
I could not do my job without two things: Asana to keep my projects organized and understanding deliverables and timelines and
Yeah.
who's involved. And of course, I'm sure no surprise to anybody here, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So more and more of my work is happening with the assistance of ChatGPT. It's helping me scale. It's
Yeah.
helping me sanity check, get lift off of certain projects. And I think like a lot of people that are listening, Renee, I was quite skeptical, and I've been using it actively for about 3 years now. And I'm not going to lie, a couple of years ago, it was weak. It wasn't
Yes.
that trustworthy, but it's getting smarter and smarter
Yeah.
and smarter. And I could not produce without it.
And we train it to do things the
That's
way
right.
we like it to.
That's
So,
right.
from a marketing perspective, you want it to write it or to write the way you want it to write, not just any
Yes.
old shit. you know,
You
uh,
asked me for advice. I would say resist being a Luddite
yes,
and learn AI. I don't care
yes,
what, if you're marketer or financial or legal, it's coming for you, and it can
yes.
be your biggest asset. So be a master.
Listen, I've been working with a board of directors for a not for profit. They gave me a whole bunch of documents I had to go through. I stuck them into ChatGPT, said, "Give me the red flags," and I found out that there were all kinds of discrepancies and all kinds of problems that would have screwed up that organization at some point because
Amazing.
they require, like, people just aren't reading, right? They've got contradictions, they've got uh, different things, different issues. What's wrong with, your own contract with a client? Pop it in Chat GPT, have it, give it a quick go over and see if there's anything there that you need to make an adjustment to. It's not a substitute for a real lawyer, but it sure as hell is a good one.
For the amount of effort you put
you
into
know,
it, you're gonna get value out of it. It's not
yeah,
hard to do. So check that box,
it's
and you'll be
simple.
happy you did. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's a
exactly.
very easy example. I'm starting to build my own GPTs
Yes,
to productize a lot of the work I do, not
yes,
because I don't want to do it, but I need to scale as a
yeah,
fractional,
yeah.
and that's a great way for me to scale. So
That's
productize your offering and then use AI to help you do that.
and that's what I've been doing. And the classroom, as you know, is full of GPTs and
Yes,
things that I built
tremendous.
to help people make their jobs easier. And because I built them, if they're not quite right, you just tell me and I can adjust it. Which is the beauty of it.
Yeah,
Whereas if you get them from some other place, you don't, they're not quite the same. You don't have the control over them. So at least with the fractional referral network, you can give me the feedback and I can make the adjustments accordingly.
and I've
So
seen you do that in person. So you're speaking the truth.
thank you. All right, my friend, I think that's it for the day. This is a quick highlight. Thank you so much for coming. I
Yeah,
will
my pleasure, Renee.
I will post the video in our school community and also on YouTube and LinkedIn, and I'll give you a copy as well. All righty.
That's great. It's been a pleasure.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Have a great day.
Take care. You too.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye, Renee.